Coming up on Mountain News at 6, Kentucky's healthcare sector is struggling to maintain its workforce. Plus, finalists for the Invest 606 Accelerator and Final Pitch contest have been announced.
Plus, we are tracking some awesome weather for Thanksgiving, also Black Friday. Your holiday forecast coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The weather created some problems for holiday travelers today. Several crashes were reported across the region, but the rain is moving out and we should have much better weather through the weekend. First Alert meteorologist Cameron Aaron has been tracking the latest. Cameron?
Yes, Steve, we are tracking some drying weather as we go into this evening. Still watching out for a few spotty rain chances, especially in the Big Sandy Valley. But for most of us, we are starting to welcome in some drier, also cooler conditions. Zooming into Southwest Virginia from Buchanan, Dickinson, also Lee and Wise counties, a few sprinkles there. And same story for Pike County, also into Floyd and Martin counties, and into Wayne, Mingo, and Logan counties in West Virginia as well. Nothing too heavy, but a few more patches of light drizzle as we go into this evening. And same story for London, for Laurel County, also into Jackson, Estill, and Powell counties as well. Watching out for a few light showers this evening. Those temperatures are not too bad in the middle to lower 50s and a few upper 50s as well. But we are tracking some much better weather. If you have those plans to travel on Wednesday or even on Thanksgiving Day itself, check this out. For much of the country, eastern country, we are tracking some much better weather on Wednesday, also Thursday. More dry conditions into Black Friday. But we are tracking possibly a weak weather system by Sunday, also Monday of next week. But until then, some much better travel forecasting is on the way as we go towards the rest of this week. But we are tracking some much cooler weather once we get through this system on Sunday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
The rain was definitely beneficial, though. Cameron, thank you very much. Well, part of I-75 in Rockcastle County is back open after a deadly crash this morning. Police say it happened on I-75 northbound between the 59 and 60-mile markers. The crash involved a car and a semi. The northbound lanes were closed for about 2 hours, but again are now reopened. No names have been released yet. Two separate crashes led to 2 people being taken to the hospital in southern Kentucky. Officials with the London-Laurel County Rescue Squad responded to this crash involving a school bus out of Laurel County and a car around 7:45 this morning. It happened on the Cumberland Gap Parkway. One person from the car was taken to St. Joseph, London. No students were reported injured. There was also a crash on Tobacco Road in Laurel County. The London-Laurel Rescue Squad was notified of that incident around 11:15 a.m. Officials with the rescue squad say the collision looked to be head-on. One person was taken to St. Joseph's Hospital in London. No word on their condition. A man is behind bars after leading police on a high-speed chase through parts of Laurel and Clay counties. Sunday, London PD learned about an active chase coming into London city limits from East Laurel Road. An officer observed Dennis Smith going around a sheriff's office vehicle at a high speed at the intersection of Kentucky 192 and East Laurel Road. The chase continued until the vehicle ran out of gas going north on US 421. Smith is facing several charges. In Logan County, West Virginia, 2 women have been arrested in connection with more than $1,200 worth of merchandise being taken from a Walmart. West Virginia State Police say the women were arrested last week in connection to the incident that happened last month. Both Victoria Ford and Alexandria Hatcher face grand larceny and conspiracy to commit grand larceny charges. The women were taken to the Southwestern Regional Jail. A former Clay County accountant has been indicted after reportedly failing to report more than $320,000 in income on his federal taxes. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports a federal grand jury indicted Charles Marshall Stivers of Manchester last week on 2 charges of making false statements on tax returns in 2018 and 2020. He faces up to 3 years in prison on each charge if convicted. A report from the Kentucky Hospital Association says a nursing shortage will only worsen if not addressed head-on. At the end of last year, hospitals had a workforce vacancy rate of 15%. Kelsey Soto is talking with those in the profession about ways to improve those numbers and get the state back on track.
New data from the Kentucky Hospital Association says the state is about 6,000 nurses short.
We know that every industry, every business all across Kentucky are dealing with workforce problems. And it's not just a business problem, it's a community problem, and it's obviously a problem for our citizens as well. And that really hits home when we really talk to our partners at the Hospital Association.
In 2022, there were 760 full-time licensed practical nurse openings. By 2035, that number could skyrocket to more than 3,000.
Yeah, you can't get people quickly. That's the problem. You know, a nurse takes a minimum of 2 years. You know, you have to get people into the pipeline. You have to get them through, education. They have to pass exams. So there's no quick fix to this.
That's why the KHA is partnering with the Chamber of Commerce, the Council on Post-Secondary Education, and KCTCS to expand the workforce pipeline. They also want to remove barriers for healthcare education and better protect their current staff.
You know, our hospitals are certainly focused on retention. We certainly want to keep the workers we have, so I would say that's a huge focus.
Sheila Melander is an associate dean at UK's College of Nursing. She's been in the profession for more than 20 years.
We also have retirements. We have an aging population, and we also have a pipeline problem with getting those nurses to the bedside.
She remains hopeful about building back employment numbers. They're starting with future nurses. UK has widened their enrollment from 120 students twice a year to 180. It's a start that will hopefully reverse course on the downward trends. In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
Lawmakers say it may take the state a decade to catch back up. The KHA is hoping the legislature will take a look at funding to try and provide additional scholarships and resources for those looking to enter the healthcare field. 12 counties will undergo a post-election audit for the 2023 general election. In a release from the Attorney General's office, a dozen counties were selected at random, including 3 here in the mountains. Those are Perry, Martin, and Johnson counties. The counties are randomly selected in a public forum within 20 days of the general election. It's been just short of 2 months since both in-person and online sports betting became legal here in the state of Kentucky. Governor Beshear recently announced that nearly $448 million has been wagered in the state so far. But how has the legalization of sports betting in the Commonwealth affected our neighboring states? Samantha Valentino has the answer.
Now that sports betting is legal in Kentucky, experts predicted bordering states might see a drop in their handles.
You're not seeing people leave Kentucky every weekend to go bet on college football or the NFL like you were seeing in years past.
Indiana was expected to see the largest impact as the state borders Louisville, Kentucky's largest city. Last month, Indiana saw a handle of $429.7 million. That's a slight drop from the state's handle in October of last year, $446.2 million. Caesars Southern Indiana sits just across the river from Louisville. It saw a $2.9 million handle drop last month compared to October of 2022.
I don't think Kentucky has really had a major impact on surrounding states in terms of, drastically reducing their handle, drastically reducing their figures.
Robert Linehan is a sports betting regulatory expert and editor of Sports Betting Dime. He says about 650,000 unique online sports betting accounts have been created in Kentucky. Governor Beshear announced that nearly $448 million has been wagered since sports betting began in Kentucky. However, we don't yet know how much of that money will actually benefit the state.
You're taxing the revenue that's coming in with the operators without knowing what revenues the operators are posting, what they're reporting. We have no idea what Kentucky is making in taxes.
Linehan says we should expect those reports soon. In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Linehan says something unique about sports betting in the Commonwealth is Governor Beshear's promotion of it, adding it's not often you see governors embracing sports betting as much as Beshear has. Memories and memorials continue to flood in after former First Lady Rosalynn Carter's death. The humanitarian and community service-minded leader has been touted for her dedication to giving back. Some of that exemplified in a visit to the mountains in 1997 for Habitat for Humanity's Hammering in the Hills initiative. Kentucky's former First Lady, Judy Patton, remembers the visit fondly.
Everybody was so nervous.
Honey, she came in. She put everybody at ease. She pat them on the back. Come on, let's get to work, you know. That's her legacy, both of them. What they have done for mankind. Their love.
Patton says the trip was a true look into the heart of the Carters. We'll have more memories from Patton tonight at 11. Invest 606 founder Jeff Marietta is entering his 5th year of leading the charge in helping small businesses grow through programs and contests. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked to Marietta and small business owners selected at this year's competition finalists about how the process will be a big help.
More than $30,000 are on the line in cash prizes, but the Invest 606 experience can be worth even more.
We treat entrepreneurs and business owners like they're kings and queens. We make sure that there's never one point that they feel like their time's being wasted.
14 businesses are participating in the Accelerator program and trainings. Before even hitting their 6-month anniversary, the London Children's Museum was selected.
Tears were just in my eyes. Like, I was so excited to finally feel heard and seen.
Hendricks says they hope to build connections through the programs.
They just know the right people when it comes to maybe either financing stuff or when it comes to suggestions on educational programs.
Another business is hoping the programs will help them expand.
We're actually getting ready to be able to expand our total output to about 2,000 shirts a day.
McKinney saw other businesses in Hazard succeed with the program and found opportunity.
We've seen other businesses open up and really be successful and go through this program.
Appalachian Apparel is not the only business in Hazard participating. Ready, Set, Play was selected as a finalist as well.
Being able to be a part of a program that allows us to showcase our business, work on accounting, work on marketing, and just being in contact with other businesses to learn and grow is very important.
The 14 businesses will participate in a 6-month training to help them grow. In Hazard, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
The businesses will participate in a demo day where they present their business to the public. That will be on February 4th in Hazard.
Well, some spotty showers are possible this evening, but we are tracking some drier conditions later tonight. Your forecast coming up. Plus,
one Eastern Kentucky city's annual Winterfest is icing its way into town this weekend.